Hello, I'm Nobby Clark. Welcome to my workshop. I've got a new tool to show you that I've got in the workshop now. This was given to me as an anniversary present. It's a Dremel Workstation, which is basically a miniature bench drill stand. I've had the Dremel tool itself for quite a number of years now. This was again a present for Christmas a few years back. And I've used the Dremel tool quite a lot, not particularly for drilling holes, but I've used it with various grinding and sanding attachments. And I've also used it with the extension cable that comes with it that can be attached here so that the tools can be used remotely on the end of a cable. And I've used this basically as a means of engraving. When you use that particular tool, they recommend when you use the extension cable that you elevate the height of the tool itself, so that's sort of held fairly high up so that the cable sort of hangs down freely. And what I've done in the past is I've just used this on a cord hanging from the roof of the workshop. But this particular stand here has a column in here which can be raised, and there's an arm which fits in here, so this could be hung on here, and then you could use the tool itself remotely. But anyway, back to the work tool itself. It's a very nice thing, really. It's beautifully finished, a nice sort of ground surface on the plate of the tool. You can raise, got a locking hand on the back, you can raise the working head of the tool up and down. And on the side here, you also have a depth stop as well that can be set as you would on a large bench drill, so you can set it to cut down to particular depths as well. It's very easy to fit the tool itself onto the workstation. It's literally just held on with in this cup here with a large locking nut at the bottom. You remove this part from the tool itself, which is just screwed on, so that drops through the cup here, and then there's the locking nut here, and you have this spanner that comes with it to lock that in place. I've tried it with drills already. I mean, it does work. It's the problem with the Dremel is that unless you use it at very high running speeds, you lose quite a bit of torque. So it needs to be run at quite high speeds, but then you are using it with very small diameter drills anyway. This chuck will only take drills up to, I think it's 3.2 millimeters. But using it for drilling, another sort of great use for my finger plate to hold small pieces of material in position while you're drilling. Just makes it that much more safer to use. I also put that onto a piece of fairly solid wood here so that you don't accidentally drill all the way through, but it's given another extra use for the finger plate as well. One other great feature of this also is that you can set the head itself in different positions. There are a large locking handle here, and the head can be turned round to various click stop positions. So moving it right the way round here, you can put lots of the other attachments, the various grinding attachments. There's a sort of sanding attachment or a buffing wheel. They can be mounted in here, and then you can use that as a miniature grinding option for the tool itself. That's, again, sort of quite useful. I've tested this out as well, and that works very efficiently as well. You've got this rather strange thing on here to store drills and various attachments in here and in the instruction book. They call this the crow's nest. Probably quite a good name for it, really. And you can keep the various tools in here. Obviously, you have your little spanner to lock the chuck into position, and when it could be kept up here as well. Quite a nice tool, really. I'm sure I'm going to find all sorts of different uses for it. I mean, I've only had this for a couple of days now, so I'm still sort of playing around with it and sort of getting used to using it. And when I do use my big bench drill here, a huge amount, but this will be useful for drilling very, very small holes in small pieces of material, or drilling small holes into plastic or wood. To aid me, I've used one of my sewing machine lights here, so I've got that on a sort of, that's actually an old magnetic base, but gives it a bit of weight to move that around. So I've got a means of illuminating the base here, just so I can see much better, what I'm doing here. But quite a novel tool, really. I mean, I think these are, generally sort of the workstation is quite an expensive item, actually. But this was found by my wife as a thing called a UK hot deal, and it was on offer from Amazon at a very, very good discount. So I'm sort of quite pleased to have it, and this will get sort of featured in some future projects. The only thing really with the Dremel compared to my bench drill is the bench drill is fairly quiet when it runs. This obviously is quite noisy. Using at a fast speed setting, which is going to be required for the small diameter drills to give you enough torque to drill through even aluminium. It's quite a noisy motor in this. Another thing of interest also is recently I showed a fantastic deal I got at Lidl, a little supermarket. They were selling off a lot of products which I suppose for them were end of line, and I got myself a Parkside drill as well. I didn't really compare this straight away with the Dremel, but this also has a screw-off cover at the front here, and I did wonder whether this was the same size thread as the Dremel, and in fact it is. And this Parkside drill will actually fit on this workstation as well. So if you were a Parkside drill owner and were looking for a stand, the Dremel stand can be used with it. Thing is that even at this special price deal, this would have been a lot more expensive than what I paid for this, actually. But there you go. Anyway, just as sort of as a point of interest, as well as the finger plate, obviously I could use a vise on here. I've got this beautiful tiny little vise. I think that would work quite well as to hold material in. I've got some other bench drill vices as well that I could use. This is a very, very old Black & Decker vice as well. I mean, I've had this for many, many years now. It was actually my dad's, and I actually bought this for him God, it must have been over 40 years ago as a present, because he had a Black & Decker drill stand, and I bought him this so he could use that on it. But when he passed away, when a lot of the tools he had come to me, and this was among them. So I think quite a nice thing, really. I guess it's still available if anyone was sort of interested in getting hold of one of these for themselves. It's in quite a nice thing to have, really. So another option for working on fairly small items. Anyway, thanks for joining me in the workshop today, and hopefully I'll have another video for you very, very soon. Thank you. Bye bye for now.